Alrighty everyone, well game number 3 in this best of 7 series finds us on Port Alexander LE. Spawning here in the bottom right hand corner of the map, playing with the blue Zerg pieces. He's currently up and wants to keep this series rolling in his favor. His name is Serral. And his opponent spawning in the top left hand corner of the map, playing with the red Terran pieces. He's currently down, but certainly not out of it just yet. His name is SpeCial. So guys and girls, this series up to this point has been one of just absolute mind games, but also just so much micro. It has been an absolutely incredible series so far, in which a series that was played at the WCS Spring Tournament, so a big ordeal, one of the WCS stops, and you know, a best of 7 series, the grand finals of that tournament. Game 3, you know, I think the narrative is really around, you know, I guess you could say the narrative is around both players, but there's a narrative around SpeCial as to, okay, you know, you're down 2 games to the best player on the planet. How do you respond here to get on the scoreboard? Because you certainly do not want to go down 3 games. I mean, you don't want to go down 2 games, but you certainly don't want to go down 3 games to nothing. So what do you do in these current situations? And if you're Serral, you know, it's been a couple of tournaments since you won. Okay, you haven't been in that win. I mean, you've been winning, right? But not winning the big tournaments and such. So how do you pull it off? You know, how do you kind of get back into that win column of that consistent winning mentality? So I think there's narrative around both these players, and I think it's going to be a very interesting story to unfold here as we speak. And we're going to see, of course, one of these Reapers is going to be making his way across the map. Looks like both players going for a relatively standard build. Once again, we are going to see that hatch gas pool opener out of Serral. Very standard again, that metabolic boost upgrade. We're going to see the barracks into the refinery, followed up by that natural command center, followed up, of course, by the factory. And so very standard on both sides of the map. I mean, I'm just wondering, are we going to get a little bit of some cheese in this game, or is it going to be a more of something along the lines of, you know, just a, I guess, a micro-focus game more so than an aggressive build? Will be interesting to say the least, because both of these players, man, are just playing some amazing, you know, micro and macro focus games in this series so far. So game number 1, Serral, you know, really utilized, you know, kind of the swarm host and just kind of, you know, played, you know, very interestingly with the swarm host as well as the Nidus network. And I think that was a really interesting play for him and SpeCial, even though he went for a kind of, you know, some mind games in game number 1 with the battle cruisers. It just did not end up working out in the end. And then game number 2, once again, Serral kind of went with those, you know, he went for his, you know, a standard, you know, build, and then he kind of moved into, and this is a huge scout here with that Ghost Academy. Once again, SpeCial is trying, you know, something a little bit different, trying to throw his opponent off here, and it's just, you know, nothing's getting by Serral right now. I mean, he is scouting everything that's going on. We are going to see the Baneley nest is going to be coming down now. But Serral is seeing exactly what's going on. I mean, and that's what he does so well, is that it's all about that scouting information and figuring out exactly what is going on at all times throughout the map as far as what your opponent is doing. So, but I gotta say, guys, you know, Serral is just, you know, he's such an amazing player, such a consistent StarCraft 2 player, and SpeCial is not bad whatsoever. Now the snipes are going to come in here once to get that ghost out. We are going to see more and more units coming in now for Serral as he is moving into, he's switching into that lair. Start moving into those higher tier lair based units to kind of counter the ghosts. But you know, I mean, it's just like the little things, like scouting that there was a Ghost Academy, or scouting whatever it might be. Serral is really on top of that scouting information. And it does look like we are going to see him going ahead, and he's got that lair is going to be coming in here shortly. But we got the ghost is out. The ghost is going to get a couple of snipers in. There are a couple of them at least at this point, and they're going to start trying to threaten that third hatchery at this point. And it looks like more and more Zerglings are going to be added to the mix here. Follow up here. Going to be 2 engineering bays followed with a starport. I like that decision a lot. He's also getting a couple more barracks out as well. So we're going to have to kind of keep an eye on all the different pieces that are moving across the map. And that's one thing that's been really exciting about this ZVT matchup, is that there's been units that have just been running across all over the map. And I love this, the Baneling bust. Could he get another Baneling bust and just really move in here and start doing some damage? It seems like that's exactly what Serral wants to do at this point. Really keep his opponent on his toes. Looks like he's got some units, of course, over here near this third base location once again. And it looks like SpeCial wants to figure out what is going to work out best. But those floodgates are open. And oh man, this could be absolutely deadly. The Baneling. Oh man, they're actually not doing as much damage as I was expecting. But my God, that could have been absolutely terrible for all of those for those SCVs. Man, a lot of them did get hurt tremendously there, and Serral has taken a nice little lead. Stimpak's going to be finishing up a research in less than 10 seconds now for SpeCial. And it looks like the follow-up, you know, he's on that third orbital command, which is SpeCial, and then, you know, Serral's kind of moving into that fourth hatchery. So, I mean, once again, both players giving each other that respect that they do deserve. But, man, it's just been a interesting ordeal between these two. They are just kind of going back and forth with who's going to be the one that kind of initiates the engagements. And it seems that in these past, you know, I would say pretty much all these games, it seems like SpeCial's the one who wants to, but then it's Serral that actually does it and just goes full-blown into it and just creates many problems with small amounts of units. And that's what Serral is so well known for, is doing more with less. I think that's what he just does so incredibly well. Now, we are going to see a lot of these units are going to start moving across the map. Once again, we got a ghost that's going to try to get some snipes in here. It does look like one of those ghosts is going to go down. But once again, at that fourth hatchery, it does look like SpeCial wants to initiate an infantry weapons level 1 and an infantry armor level 1 finish up for SpeCial. We're going to see Nematized Carapace as well. It's going to be finishing up in less than 10 seconds, and Combat Shield will be finishing up for SpeCial. Now, Nematized Carapace, I've said this many times, it's pretty much one of my favorite upgrades as a Zerg player, simply because it gives you that high ground vision, or that eye in the sky vision, but it's faster information from the Overlord. So it's that Overlord speed upgrade. And here we go. It does look like more units are going to start moving towards the middle of the map. But this creep spread, once again, is just getting out of control. Serral, what he does is he takes over his side of the map, and he just creates, you know, lots of issues, whereas SpeCial is spending a lot of time trying to clean up that creep spread. And while that's all happening, it does look like, once again, Serral is trying to get as many kills there as possible, is able to get a good amount, but SpeCial is able to fly out of there without taking absolutely critical losses. It does look like the Hydralisk switch up is happening. We're going to see Muscular Augments, which is going to be finishing up in a few seconds. Melee attacks level 1, and Ground Carapace is going to be finishing up here shortly. So he's a little bit behind. Serral's a little bit behind of the upgrade count is concerned, because now we've got, we of course have SpeCial going on those +2/+2 upgrades. Now it does look like a couple of these queens were caught off guard here in the, you know, kind of near that just up on that ramp. Just a really weird positioning. But we're going to see Hydralisks are going to be out on the playing field. The Hive is being morphed in as we speak as well. And more of these, we're just going to see, you know, more and more barracks are going to be coming in. We're also going to be seeing some more siege tanks that are going to be joining the fight as well. That Hive is going to be finishing up here shortly. But we got a lot of units that are just kind of chilling down in this left-hand corner of the map. I'm wondering about that. But nonetheless, a lot of Banelings. Lots and lots of Banelings here. And this could be a pretty big pickup if Serral is able to time this well, as we got more and more units are going to start kind of moving across the map here, trying to clear out a lot more of that creep spread. But, oh man, it has been absolutely interesting. But here we go. It does look like Serral is going to try to get the surround, and that's exactly what he's going to do, blasting that all of those units, which were Marines as well as Marauders. Serral not missing a beat right now, guys, in this series. This is the best player on the planet on full display as to why he is exactly that title. He wants to be, you know, recrowned as the champ in the world of StarCraft 2 after, you know, losing at the IM in Katowice, losing, you know, a couple of tournaments, and now it's just he wants to get it back, and he wants to go up 3-0 against SpeCial, and there is, you know, no doubt about it. He does not want to allow SpeCial to get back in this series. Infantry weapons level 2 is going to be finishing up in less than 10 seconds, as well as infantry armor level 2. But it does look like Serral, are you going too far on creep as you are SpeCial? He does have that high ground vision with the siege tanks, doing a lot of damage. But more and more Banelings are going to be coming out here. He's trying to bait him into the range of those siege tanks. There is just a lot of action that's happening here. The Vipers are out on the playing field. Those Vipers are going to use the abducts to take out those siege tanks. Beautiful play here so far. Blinding clouds are being sent down from the sky as just a lot of those units. But beautiful pickup micro there by SpeCial. The micro back and forth. Who is going to have the edge, at least at this point in the game? Oh my god, the amount of damage being dealt by Serral. Even though some beautiful micro back and forth by both players, got to give credit where credit is due. SpeCial is certainly not out of this game just yet. He's proving that he can hang with someone of the likes of SpeCial, which is telling you that SpeCial is still one of the best players in the world with the Terran pieces, and and that's a huge ordeal. Now it does look like there's more Banelings that are going to start rolling in here. You're going to have to be very careful. Now beautiful positioning on these siege tanks, gotta say, very nice positioning. It does look like more and more creep tumors are going to be laid out here by these queens, and it just looks like now with the Ultralist switch, oh man, this is starting to look scary. Because you got the Vipers, so you got that eye in the sky, and then you've got the Hydras. You got this Ling Bane Hydra composition now coming in with the Ultras, and now some of these units are starting to get caught a little bit off guard here as SpeCial is trying to kind of get back into this game somewhat. But it looks like once again this army from Serral is going right down towards that fourth base location once again. Does not look like he is going to allow this to go down again. And it looks like SpeCial is going to be forced into a corner, and after 13 minutes has to GG out, and Serral takes a commanding 3-0 lead over his opponent. I hope you guys did enjoy this game between Serral and SpeCial. And if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, and I'll see you guys all in game number 3. Or game number 4.